Your mind is the command center of your entire life. Everything you do, every decision you make, every habit you form, it all begins with a thought. Yet, most people never truly take command of their thinking. They react instead of respond. They allow the world to plant seeds in their mind instead of deliberately choosing what grows there. If you want immense inner strength, you have to start by becoming the master of your own mental environment. This isn't something you do once. It's something you do every single day. You must command your mind daily, with intention, with discipline, and with repetition. Most people underestimate the power of repetition. They think hearing something once is enough. It's not. The brain learns through repetition. Neural pathways get stronger the more they are used. This is a scientific truth. So if you feed your mind the same empowering thoughts daily, statements of strength, clarity, purpose, your brain begins to rewire itself. What once felt hard becomes natural. But if you don't take control, your mind will default to fear, to doubt, to limitation. That's the default wiring of a brain left unattended. If you're not planting powerful, empowering thoughts into your mind, you can be sure that the world is planting something else, usually fear, comparison, distraction, or anxiety. Commanding your mind daily means you wake up with purpose. You don't check your phone first, you check your thoughts. You center yourself. You start speaking to yourself, not listening to the noise. You declare who you are becoming. You remind yourself that your thoughts have power. You don't wait until you feel confident. You train your mind to create confidence. Because confidence isn't a gift, it's a result. It's built through small mental wins stacked over time. Inner strength doesn't show up in moments of comfort. It shows up in the silence. When you're alone and you choose to feed your mind something useful instead of something easy. It's when you're tired and instead of complaining, you remind yourself, I am built for this. It's when you're stressed and you say, I can handle this. I'm stronger than this emotion. These small mental commands might feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, they define who you are. They become your internal operating system. You have to speak to your mind with authority. If you don't, the world will. If you don't affirm who you are, the world will suggest a version of you that is weaker, more passive, more dependent. Inner strength begins with self-command, and self-command begins with awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts that are running your life. Most people are thinking the same 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are negative, limiting, unconscious. You can't change what you're unaware of. So first, watch your thoughts. Then, begin to upgrade them, deliberately, repeatedly. Every single day, talk to your mind like a leader. Guide it, challenge it, strengthen it. When it resists, don't panic. That resistance is a sign that change is happening. That's your old mental software fighting for survival. Let it go. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're here to become someone with vision, with discipline, with power. Inner strength is not for the chosen few. It's for the trained few. And training your mind is step one. No one else can do this for you. No motivation video, no book, no mentor will ever replace your daily commitment to mental mastery. Say the words. Hold the vision. Repeat the beliefs. Discipline your inner world until it becomes unshakable. This is the foundation of everything. Command your mind every single day, and you'll build a kind of strength no one can take from you. The first battle of the day is often the most important one, and it happens before most people even get out of bed. It's not physical, it's mental. It's that quiet moment when your alarm goes off and your mind tries to negotiate. Just 5 more minutes. I'll start tomorrow. That voice of comfort, that pull toward ease, it's the first test, and how you respond sets the tone for everything that follows. If you want to build immense inner strength, you must master the morning battle. Every single day. People often underestimate the power of the morning. They think the day starts when they arrive at work, open their laptop, or respond to the first message. That's already too late. The most important decisions are made before the world even touches you. It's in the first 60 minutes after you wake that your mind is most impressionable, more vulnerable to suggestion, more open to programming. If you're not careful, this is when distractions sneak in, doubts begin to whisper, and your energy is stolen before the day even begins. Mastering the morning is about owning that first hour. Not checking your phone, not diving into emails or social media, not letting external input hijack your internal state. It means creating space, deliberately, for focus, stillness, and clarity. When you win the morning, you gain control of your mindset. And when you control your mindset, you control your outcomes. Discipline in the morning is like sharpening a sword. It prepares you to move through the chaos of the day with clarity and direction. If you start reactive, you stay reactive. But if you start grounded, intentional and focused, you stay in command. The most successful and mentally strong individuals don't leave their morning to chance. They engineer it. They create routines that center them, challenge them, and build their identity brick by brick. This doesn't mean your morning needs to be 2 hours long or filled with complicated rituals. It means that you do what aligns with your highest self, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's waking up early when your body wants comfort. Maybe it's stepping into cold water when your mind screams no. Maybe it's sitting in silence for 10 minutes. Breathing through anxiety instead of running from it. These small acts of defiance against comfort are how you build inner power. Each choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. And this is the truth: you are always becoming someone. Each morning, each decision each action is shaping you. You're either strengthening your will or weakening it. There is no neutral. When you master the morning battle, you start stacking wins early, and those early wins compound. They build momentum. They tell your subconscious, I'm in control. I do hard things. I move with purpose. Inner strength isn't about feeling good. It's about doing what's necessary. And mornings give you a daily opportunity to prove to yourself that you are not ruled by emotion or circumstance. You are ruled by intention. That's real strength. It's not loud. It's not always seen. But it's felt in the way you carry yourself, in the decisions you make, in how you respond to adversity. The person who masters their morning eventually masters their life. Because that first hour is a reflection of your mindset. It's your rehearsal space. It's where you declare, through action, who you are and what you're here to do. Don't surrender that time. Guard it. Honor it. Use it to build the foundation of your inner world. Every morning is a new chance to start strong. A new chance to choose power over passivity, discipline over delay, purpose over comfort. Win the morning, win the battle. And watch how your entire life begins to shift. Your body is not separate from your mind. They are deeply connected, constantly influencing each other. Most people try to develop mental strength while neglecting the physical vessel that carries their will. They wait to feel motivated, confident, or focused, not realizing that the fastest way to shape the mind is by training the body to serve it. If you want immense inner strength, you must train your body to serve your will every single day. You must use physical action as a tool to condition your mental resilience. The body responds to discomfort, and so does the mind. When you voluntarily step into something uncomfortable, when you challenge yourself physically, push beyond your limits, and embrace what most people avoid, you send a powerful signal to your brain. I am in control. That signal builds self-respect. It builds identity. It tells your subconscious that you are capable of doing hard things. And that belief becomes the foundation of inner power. Too many people live in their heads. They read, they plan, they dream, but they don't move. They don't put pressure on themselves physically, and as a result, their mindset remains weak. Because theory without effort is empty. Real strength is forged under tension. And the body is the perfect instrument for that kind of pressure. Whether it's lifting weights, running in the rain, holding a difficult yoga pose, or even just going on a walk when you're exhausted, these are not just physical acts. These are declarations. You are telling yourself, I am not controlled by my mood. I move because I choose to. When your body learns discipline, your mind follows. The simple act of keeping a daily physical commitment, even something small, can radically shift your identity. You begin to trust yourself. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop defaulting to ease. You become someone who acts in alignment with vision, not emotion. And the more you act from that place, the stronger your inner voice becomes. Not the voice that makes excuses, the voice that leads, is. Training your body doesn't have to mean going to war with yourself. It doesn't mean punishing your body or chasing perfection, is. It means creating pressure on purpose, pushing your physical edge, practicing discomfort until it becomes familiar, is. Because every time you push through physical resistance, you teach your nervous system that pain doesn't mean stop. It means grow. This kind of relationship with effort builds real grit. And grit is not something you're born with. It's something you train. When you train your body to stay calm under pressure, your mind starts to mirror that calm. When you choose one more rep, one more step, one more breath, your inner voice gets louder. It says, I don't quit. I don't run, I finish what I start. And those small declarations shape your mental software. They rewire the brain to associate struggle with strength, not suffering. Think of your physical routine as your daily battlefield is. It's not about aesthetics. It's about alignment. It's about proving to yourself, in action, that your will is stronger than your weakness. This builds integrity between mind and body. And when those two are in harmony, something incredible happens. You move through life differently. You speak with more confidence. You focus more deeply. You recover from failure faster. Because you've taught yourself, through motion, that you are capable. No one else can do this work for you. You can't outsource discipline. You can't delegate physical effort. Every drop of sweat, every sore muscle, every morning you show up when you don't feel like it. That's you building armor from the inside out. That's you forging mental steel through physical fire. So if you want inner strength, don't just think stronger thoughts. Move. Move with purpose. Move with discipline. Use your body as the training ground for your mind. Teach it to follow your will. And soon, you'll find your entire life starts following your lead. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Where you place it determines what grows in your life. It's not time that people are losing. It's attention. Time is passive, but attention is active. You can live an entire day without truly being present for any of it. You can spend hours in motion and yet go nowhere mentally or emotionally. That's the danger of a distracted life. If you want to build immense inner strength, you must guard your attention like it's gold. Because it is. We live in a world that is designed to fracture your focus. Algorithms, ads, notifications. Everything around you is trying to hijack your mind. Not because it's evil, but because it's profitable. The more distracted you are, the more easily you can be sold to, controlled, or directed. So if you don't take control of your focus, someone else will. And inner strength is impossible to build in a distracted mind. You can't develop power when your attention is scattered across dozens of meaningless inputs. Attention is the foundation of clarity, and clarity is the birthplace of power. You have to start asking yourself, where is my attention going? Who or what is collecting pieces of my mind throughout the day? How often do I let my focus drift into low-value activities that don't align with my purpose? These are not small questions. They determine your results. Every time you check your phone out of boredom, every time you jump from task to task without finishing, every time you let someone else's urgency dictate your energy, you are weakening your ability to hold presence. And presence is a skill that must be trained. Training your focus starts with awareness. Begin to notice when your attention wanders. Catch yourself. Don't judge it, just bring it back. The act of returning your attention over and over again is mental strength in motion. It's the brain doing reps. You're building the muscle of control, and the more you practice, the stronger it gets. This doesn't require a perfect environment. It requires commitment. You can train attention anywhere, at your desk, during a conversation, in the middle of stress. The goal isn't to eliminate distraction entirely. The goal is to notice it quickly and return your focus to what matters. One of the most powerful things you can do is design your environment to protect your focus. Remove digital noise. Simplify your space. Turn off non-essential notifications. Create time blocks for deep work, reflection, movement, or silence. Not because it's trendy, but because it teaches your mind how to settle. When your environment supports focus, your mind learns to operate with greater clarity and intention. Focus also requires courage. The courage to say no, the courage to be misunderstood, The courage to unplug when everyone else is plugged in. It's easier to go along with the noise. It's harder to guard your energy like it's sacred. But the people who build true inner strength know that their attention is not for sale. They don't give it away easily. They invest it where it multiplies. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. So if your attention is fragmented, so is your energy. You'll feel drained, not because you worked hard, but because your mind was in too many places. The strongest people aren't always the loudest or the busiest. They're the most focused. They direct their attention with precision. They decide what gets their energy and what doesn't, and that discipline becomes a source of quiet, immovable strength. So, guard your attention. Practice presence. Eliminate noise. Return to what matters. Do it every day. It may not look dramatic, but over time, it builds something powerful. A mind that can't be easily shaken. And that is one of the rarest forms of strength in the modern world. Your words are not just sounds. They are commands. Every time you speak, you are giving instructions to your subconscious mind. You are shaping your identity, reinforcing beliefs, and projecting energy into the world. Most people don't realize how much their own words are working against them. They speak in ways that weaken them. They talk about their limitations, their problems, their stress, over and over, until those things become part of who they are. If you want immense inner strength, you must speak only what builds you. You must learn to use your voice as a tool for construction, not destruction. You have to become deeply conscious of your language. Start listening to yourself. Not just what you say out loud, but what you say in your head. I'm tired. I can't. I'm not good at this. Those aren't just harmless expressions. They are reinforcements. You are programming your nervous system to accept a lower standard of power. You are instructing your mind to settle, and over time, that programming becomes automatic. You begin to live inside the walls of your own words. Now, that doesn't mean you pretend everything is perfect. This isn't about blind positivity or ignoring reality. It's about choosing language that empowers you rather than drains you. You can acknowledge difficulty without identifying with it. You can say, I'm facing a challenge, instead of, I'm failing. You can say, this is hard, but I'm getting stronger, instead of, this always happens to me. That shift in language is subtle, but powerful. One tears you down, the other builds you up. Inner strength is built when you align your speech with your vision. Speak from the place you're going, not the place you're stuck in. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, speak the words that align with who you're becoming. Language leads emotion. Emotion leads action. So when you change the words, you begin to change the way you feel. And when you change the way you feel, you act differently. It's a domino effect that begins with the tongue. Think about this. Would you talk to someone you love the way you talk to yourself? Would you say they're not good enough, not capable, not worthy? Probably not. Yet, we say these things to ourselves constantly. And we wonder why our confidence is low, why we hesitate, why we can't push through. It starts with the way we speak, especially when no one is listening. Make it a habit to speak life into your mind. Use words that generate energy. Say, learning. Say, committed. Say, I'm built for this. These aren't just affirmations. They are reinforcements. They strengthen the mental structures that support your ability to endure, to focus, to grow. And when you speak this way every day, those words start to feel real. You're no longer faking confidence. You're training it. Be careful with sarcasm and self-deprecating jokes. Your subconscious doesn't understand irony. It takes what you say at face value. When you joke about being lazy or unlucky or hopeless, your mind doesn't laugh, it listens. And if you repeat it enough, it starts to believe you. Start using your voice with purpose. Speak like someone who believes in their future. Speak like someone who respects themselves. And when you catch yourself slipping into weak language, don't just ignore it, correct it, replace it. Speak something stronger in its place. It might feel awkward at first, but over time, this becomes your new standard. You will never outperform the story you keep telling yourself. So tell a better one. Make it real with your words. Build yourself every time you speak. Because every sentence is a brick, and You're either building a prison or a palace. Speak only what builds you, and you'll create a mind that refuses to break. Most of the growth you'll ever experience will happen in silence. It won't be broadcast, celebrated, or even noticed by anyone else. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Real strength is built when no one is watching, when there's no applause, no praise, no guarantee of results. That's the invisible work. And if you want to develop immense inner strength, you must learn to honor it. You must fall in love with doing the work no one sees, and sticking to it even when it feels like nothing is changing. The world is obsessed with outcomes. We're conditioned to crave quick wins, instant feedback, and visible progress. But the most powerful transformations happen beneath the surface. Like roots growing underground, your discipline, mindset, and resilience are developed in the unseen hours, the early mornings, the late nights, the moments you show up without recognition. The problem is, most people quit during this phase. They stop because they think the effort isn't working. But what they don't realize is that the invisible work is laying the foundation, and without that foundation, nothing lasting can be built. You must remind yourself daily, just because no one sees it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. In fact, it matters more. Waking up early to train, choosing to meditate instead of scroll, resisting the easy path when no one would know the difference. Those decisions build character. They are proof of self-respect. They show that you are driven not by external validation, but by internal alignment. That is where real strength begins, not with a result, but with a decision to stay committed. There will be days when the work feels pointless. You'll wonder why you keep going. You'll question whether anything is actually changing. That's the test. That's the exact moment you're being given the opportunity to grow in silence. Every rep you push through, when you don't feel like it, every journal entry you write with no one to read it, every small promise you keep to yourself, those moments compound. They shape your identity, and eventually, they create results so powerful that the world can't ignore them. But by the time the world sees the results, it's already too late. The transformation has already happened. Not in your appearance, not in your bank account, not on your resume, but in your mind. That's the invisible work. And it's the most important work you'll ever do. If you rely on being seen, you'll never last. If you rely on being praised, you'll never push far enough. The real warriors are the ones who keep going with no audience. They train with discipline. Not for a trophy, but because it's who they are. They show up day after day because they know that consistency, not applause, is what builds power. This is where you separate yourself from the average, from the distracted, from the undisciplined. While others are waiting to be motivated, you're already moving. While they complain that no one notices their effort, you're stacking wins in silence. You're not in it for recognition. You're in it for growth, and that mindset makes you unstoppable. So honor the invisible work. Don't rush it. Don't resent it. Respect it. Because what you're building right now, away from the noise, away from the spotlight, is what will carry you when the pressure comes. The strength you build in private will speak for you in public. The habits you refine in the dark will shine when it matters most. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work no one sees. That's where champions are made. That's where unshakable strength is born. And one day is when the world finally sees what you become, you'll know. It wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It was the invisible work you chose to honor every single day.